Hi everyone, thank you for joining me. So this is the second update and will be the last update for the long weekend build. You will recall that I'd got Friday off work and Monday off work, so I got 4 days in which to do some hobbying. There wasn't an intense amount of hobbying during Saturday and Sunday, but a lot of Friday I was able to do quite a bit, and a lot of today I've been able to do quite a bit, so I'm quite happy with that. I've arranged the builds as per the previous video. So I had the AAC Matador. If you recall, the chassis wasn't attached to the cargo area at the back. That's now attached, and I've given it all a coat of Chaos Black from Games Workshop so that I can paint the interior of the cab, and then once that's done, get the windows sorted and then put the front on. So some progress on that. The last video, this was all made up, but I've managed to get some Chaos Black on this, ready to get the green on it, so that's ready to go into the paint shop, so to speak. The Panzer IV House D from IBG is completely built, so that's ready to get some Chaos Black on it, and then we can start looking at painting it. But I don't know how I'm going to finish this yet. It will obviously be Africa Core, but there's something I'm toying with the idea of doing with it, so we shall see. The next build that was was here on the last video was the Challenger 1 from Matchbox, but I'll show you that in a bit. So this kit is the Hasegawa 172nd Humber Mark 1, I think. I don't know whether I've mentioned before, but Hasegawa have got to be the Tamiya of 172nd scale. This kit just went together so well, and it was such a joy to build. I'll just have to look out for more Hasegawa 172nd kits. This one is the IBG A10 Mark 1A close support British tank, which was so these two I hadn't started, I don't think, in the previous video. So these two are new starts, and as you can see, I've got Chaos Black on this one, ready to start painting it. This needs about 6 parts on it, and it will be fully built. The tracks can be pulled off though. The tracks and road wheels come as one piece, and they can both be pulled off, so I can paint on the inside. Really enjoyed putting this kit together, and the Panzer IV, although with the Panzer IV the track guards, they were a bit fiddly. They kept, because they were one long piece to be fitted, they kept wanting to slope downwards from this point down, so they were a bit of a pain to try and get them to sit flat. But the plastic on these IBG kits is really nice. This kit has got a hell of a lot more parts than this one. Really detailed, really nice build to put together. The other thing I thought I'd show you is that I've actually got some paint on the Swift boat. It's looking a very pale grey. It is a rattle can. It's Games Workshop's grey sear that I've used, and I've got the interior of the cabins sprayed, so I can start painting the interior as well. What I might have to do is spray some of the parts on the sprue and add them to this part, rather than having to faff around doing any more spray painting on this. I can get the windows in now as well, so that'll be a big step. But as I say, there's one kit that's missing that was on the previous video, so I shall get that now. So here it is, guys. This is the Matchbox 176 scale Challenger 1. Now I actually built this kit, or another one of this kit, 4 years ago. I think it was July 2018. I no longer have that kit, and that's one of the reasons why I bought it again, so that I could have one on the shelf. Not a bad build. It went together reasonably well. There are 1 or 2 places where you can perhaps see gaps, but as I say, it wasn't much of a challenge to put together. I initially gave it a coat of Chaos Black, and then I sprayed it with the Games Workshop's it's a bone coloured spray paint. I can't remember what it's called now. Anyway, it was a bit light, so I threw Agrax Earthshade on this, and basically it didn't work. I wanted to use it as a filter. It went on far too thick. I hadn't watered it down at all, and it looked awful. So what I had to do then was use Migamo's Desert Sand, and I basically brushed that all over to almost like, you know, I completely covered the kit with the brush painting of the Desert Sand, and then put the decals on. They went down so well on top of the Migamo Desert Sand. I didn't even bother sealing them in. What I did then was I used a new product for me anyway from Migamo. Let me just get the bottle so I can tell you what it is. Right, so it's an acrylic wash, so it can be wiped off with just a damp cloth or a damp Q-tip, and it's called Africa Core Wash. Now it is a very dark brown, and again, when I didn't dilute it, and when you paint it on, it does look like it's been painted on, so it kind of scared me a bit, but it did wipe off, no problems at all. Once dry, I just used either a tissue or a Q-tip and wiped it off from the surfaces and just left it in the recesses, and I think it worked really well. I used to use Migamo's, I think it was just Mig at the time, acrylic washes in the past, and I used to love them, so I'm glad that they're back. But what I may do in future is thin them down a bit before putting them on. Of course, what I could have done is just done a pin wash, but I wanted to get some grub and grime on the tank as it was. Once I'd done all that, I then decided I would fit the tracks, and so I gave them a spray of Chaos Black, and unfortunately I didn't leave them long enough before I put an acrylic wash of Dust Wash, again from Migamo, and what happened was, when the wash was dry, I then wiped it to get it off the pads off the track, and I was taking the Chaos Black off as well. I just hadn't let them dry enough. Fortunately, because the rubber is already black, it didn't affect it too much, but I had to be careful not to get it off the actual metal parts of the track that you can see are coloured like a sand colour. But I think it turned out really well. In fact, I think it turned out better than the one I did 4 years ago. I'm really pleased with it. I haven't done the base that comes with this kit as yet. I may do that, or I may just throw a little base and put a small diorama, you know, even if it's just a simple sand type thing like I've done with some of the other builds. So there you go, guys, that's it. You know, I've got about perhaps 3/4 of an hour left where I can actually get some of perhaps the A10 finished, but of course I've got to edit and upload this video, so that may take up all that time. Thanks ever so much for watching. Thanks for the kind comments on the previous videos, really do appreciate it. I hope your week has started well, and I'll catch up with you soon.